Happy to be joined by Southern University and SWAC Western Division champion, head coach Eric Dooley. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach Dooley, as always, we appreciate you take some time out of your schedule to join us. We know it's a busy week as your team prepares to travel to Jackson to participate in the SWAC Football Championship game. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement, just recapping your team's most recent victory there in the Bayou Classic over Grambling State.
Yeah, I thought it was a great game day atmosphere. Of course, being in the Bayou Classic, great classic. A lot of fans showed out. We know that Grambling was going to come to play. It was an exciting game all the way to the end. Fortunate enough, we were able to pull it off, and that landed us a spot in the SWAC Championship game. So hard-fought game. Guys pulled through and played for 60 minutes. Good football game for us.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach Dooley. We're going to open up for questions. First question goes to Jim Klein-Peter.
Hi, Coach. Looking back at the last time you played Jackson State, what were some of the things that you want to correct specifically?
That's really an open floor question. I probably won't answer that question right there. There's some things obviously we have to correct, and that's what we're going to work on this week right here. So we're preparing for a great football team.
How much does a team losing to a team the first time, does it create much of a advantage for payback or revenge or anything?
No, it don't create advantage for no one. A lot of guys live into the cliche, this team, this and that there. You got to play the game. You got to play the game each time you line up to play. Everybody's going to be a little different. Yeah, you're going to do some of the things that you're accustomed to doing, that you've been great at doing. But coaches make adjustments. When you talk about a good football team like Jackson State, they're going to make adjustments. They got better since the last time we played us as well. So we do understand that we don't look in the past. We never try to look in the rearview mirror or think of a payback. No such thing. You got to play the game for what it's worth right now today.
Next question goes to Dr. Cavill.
Good morning, Coach Dooley. Congratulations on the Bayou Class victory as well as winning the Western Division of the SWAC.
Appreciate it. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning. With that being said, in terms of film evaluation, Coach, you usually have that where after a game you go back and watch the film and you prepare for the next opponent. How much of that is the case when you have a rematch like this? Do you actually go back to that game film of that particular game? And if you do, what are the kind of things in general that you look for? And if not, where do you go for a championship game to get game framework of how you're going to break down a team?
I think you keep it open though, and the reason why I say that, because you got to continue to do what you've been successful doing. You got to make that better as well. Of course, we still have that philosophy. We got to scratch where the itch is too. So where we have some corrections that we have to do, of course, we got to go back and fix that. But I think I'm a guy that looks at everything. I think this is that's a passion of mine. I want to look at everything, regardless if it's the first week, the last week. I still want to watch tape because it's something that you can find that you feel you can be successful at. So, and some things that you wasn't successful that you can still learn from that situation. So I think coaches are a creature of habit. They're gonna look at everything if they got the tape to watch it. So every film that's out there, you want to take a look at it if time permits.
Makes sense. Follow-up question would be just you as a head coach being in this position last year, taking a team up to a championship game. Does that provide some things that you'll be able to support you in doing it this time with Southern? Or is there anything that you may change from last year that you didn't do or wasn't able to do in terms of this matchup this time?
No question. You're talking about a different team, but with the opportunity to go back playing against the same team, of course, there's some things I'm going to do different because of didn't come out successful. So, you got to change some things to get better at it. So no question about that. We will change some things that I see that can benefit us as well.
Thank you, Coach. Look forward to the matchup.
Thank you.
Next question goes to Ernest Riggs.
Congratulations, Coach, on your victory.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Coach, specifically, how has your team improved since the last time you all played Jackson State?
Well, you know, the thing is we're improving in spots, you know, certain spots that are not where I clearly want us to be at, but I do know we have gotten better. I do know we have a good football team as well. No question about that. Still some things that we're working on because I'm a guy that like to execute at a high level. So even if it's perfect, I'm still striving for perfection some more. So we're working, but we have gotten a lot better. Some things, the chemistry have gotten a lot better. We know some of the things that we're good at and some of the things that we wasn't good at. We worked on those as well. So we're not a different football team. We're the same football team that's now with the ability to do the things that we should have been doing from the beginning.
Coach, follow up. Just for you, what does it mean for you to get back to the SWAC Championship this year? And what does it mean for you in your first year coaching Southern to be here?
Well, to me, I'm a guy, this is not where I want to be at, not just the SWAC Championship. Of course, you want to get there, you want to do some things a little different. You want to win it. That's why you get there. So it's some things that we're preparing. This is not, I don't believe in goals, and it's a long story behind that. I just believe in playing and making sure that we're able to go 1-0.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Next question goes to Jeff Licey Jr.
Coach Dooley, what do you need from your quarterback, Sean McCray, in this week in order to get a victory over Jackson State?
I need him to win the game. That's why I look for a quarterback to win the game. I don't need him to manage it. I'm going to sit on that sideline. I'm not going to put on no EQ. So I just need him to go out and win the game for us. And what I mean by that, he don't have to take the game by himself and win it. He's just got to put us in good positions. He got to be that guy that he's a quarterback. He's going to touch the ball every down. So he has a big, significant impact on what we do and how we do it. But there's no pressure on him because they know that when he's played quarterback for me, that's what I expect. And in winning the game, of course, he's going to do some things that's going to put us in good positions.
Absolutely, Coach. And just a quick follow-up. Just in conjunction with that, your offense wasn't able to get on the scoreboard last time you played Jackson State. Just what is the message to them heading into this SWAC championship game?
Well, again, I know questions come in all type of way. I don't look in the rearview mirror. We playing this game just on December the 3rd. What happened then won't be important. What's going to happen Saturday.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the victory in the Bayou Classic. Can you talk a little bit about in the fourth quarter in the last contest, you guys went out and scored 20 points and shut the other team down, but just talk a little bit about moving forward. I know it's a new game and the momentum you can have going in.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Hill. But yeah, it is a momentum builder when you take a look at it, some success to lean on and just keep going. But I think it's still some things that we're correcting from that. We already had an opportunity to go out this morning to make those corrections to make us a better football team. The thing about it, the momentum, we just got to continue to go. When our defense is playing at a high level, it gives us a great chance of winning the ball game. And then, of course, offensively, we got to put the ball in the end zone. That's what it all comes down to, scoring points. So I do like the way that we finished the game. Still some work to do, and that's what this week here will take care of.
Coach, it's all about the SWAC championship game. You've been there back-to-back seasons, two different teams, two different looks, two different programs. Talk about going into Jackson in this particular game and what you want to do with your Jags.
Well, we got to come out and we got to execute at a high level. And when we execute at a high level for 60 minutes, I like our chances. So we know the things that we have to correct, and that's what we're working on as we speak. So we just got to continue to keep working and keep grinding, and got to take place on Saturday. We'll see how the chips fall.
Thank you, sir. Have a blessed week.
Thank you. You too.
Next question goes to Kendrick Marshall.
Yeah, Coach. Including last year, this will be your third time preparing for Jackson State. How much of an advantage, if at all, is that from your standpoint of having to prepare for a team 3 times in a calendar year?
Well, you say an advantage. I guess it's an advantage for both of us because he had to prepare for us as well. It's a different team, but pretty much the same scheme, so it's no different. So it's no advantage. I think it's what you do now That's why we use that acronym, WIN. What's important now? That's what's important right now, that we prepare for a great football team. That obviously they're a great football team. They're 11-0. They haven't lost a game this year and playing at a high level. And number one in probably every category that you try to categorize. So we do know the challenges and we know what we have to do, but of course, we're going to always love our chances. We have an opportunity. The things that we have to prepare for are advantages. I don't look at advantages. I just say you just got to go out and execute at a high level.
It's a quick follow-up. Your quarterback, Sean McCray, he hasn't thrown for over 100 yards in the last 4 games. He has 71 yards against Grambling in the Bayou Classic. How important will it be for your offense to be able to stretch the State defense vertically in the passing game?
You say he hasn't thrown for over 100 yards in a couple of games. You name one game which he has not thrown for over 100 yards in the Bayou Classic. He did what he had to do for us to win the game. But the previous game before that open date, he did throw and had a couple of touchdowns, so it was great. Again, I just need him to do what he does that's going to help us to win. If that's throwing for 300 yards, then we'll throw for 300. If that's not throwing and he's rushing, same thing. At the end of the day, when it all comes down and it's a W, they're not worried about the stats. You got the biggest stat of all, winning.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Last question goes to Stephen Gaither.
Coach Dooley, how you doing this morning? Coach Dooley, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Amazing. Yeah, just really quick. You guys, the last time you guys played Jackson State, Travis Hunter, the freshman, was kind of still getting his wings under him. He's made some big plays over the last couple of weeks, but also given up some big plays too. What type of challenges does he and this this Jackson State defensive backfield present to you guys? That you got to account for this time.
I mean, when the eye in the sky would never lie. When you take a look at the young man is extremely talented. The young man has a high ceiling. The young man has a high IQ for football. You can look at that, the way that he plays, and he plays with a lot of confidence. When you play with a lot of confidence, that solves a lot of problems. But he's talented. He got a lot of talent behind that confidence. So we know the young man can play. That's no question about that. I think anyone that watches football know that he's a football player. So we have some challenges. They have some good players, not just Travis Hunter. They got some good players on defense. My coaching staff always hear me talk about Aubrey Miller. That's a football player. He's a linebacker that's going to play from sideline to sideline, from tackle to tackle, and he's going to be all over the field. He has a passion for playing. You can just see the way he plays. So they got some good football players, and we know that. But at the end of the day, I feel that we have some good football players as well.
All right, and then to follow up quickly, you have been here before SWAC Championships as an assistant with Coach Richardson. What would it mean for you to, if you guys are able to bring that championship back to Baton Rouge and just add your name in that lineage? I know you talked about that a little bit last year.
Well, that's a special spot right there, and that's what you strive for. Each year you step out on the field. You're not just stepping out on the field just to be able to play coach a collegiate football team. You're trying to win it all, and that's what it all comes down to. And that's why those young men work so hard, starting in January all the way through the summer months. So this is what you play the game for, to play at the highest level, to be in the highest game, to win it all. So it would be a huge accomplishment.
Coach Dooley, we sincerely appreciate your time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we're going to go to Jackson. I want to go to Jackson State. Coach Deion Sanders. See that we have Coach with us. Good morning, Coach.
How you doing?
Doing great, Coach. We sincerely appreciate your time and what we know is an extremely busy week for you and your team. Coach, if you could please start us out with an opening statement previewing your upcoming matchup against Southern in the SWAC Championship game.
First and foremost, I'm excited about the matchup. They're well coached. I have the utmost respect for their coach. He's doing a wonderful job. I'm just hearing statistics on the defense with leading the nation with sacks and touchdowns, defensive touchdowns. That is unbelievable, and the nation needs to know about that because that is a feat in itself, and it shows you the consistency and the coaching talent and the players that they have. We're excited for this opportunity. We're excited to put our offense on display once again. Our defense, which has been playing lights out, our kicking game, our kickers who don't miss the punting game. We're excited, and to really have this influx of economics into our city once again is going to be unbelievable. Everyone's going to win in some sort of fashion, except for one team on the field this week. But I think it's truly a blessing to have the championship here, and it's really a rivalry type game. So I appreciate it. I look forward to it. I can't wait. I anticipate it.
Appreciate those opening comments, Coach. First question goes to Charles Bishop.
Coach, how you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I wanted to ask, and I know you've answered this before because you like to maintain the continuity, but does not having a weekend off, essentially a bye week this past weekend, does it not help the team with regards to the overall team health? This team has been going for about 7 weeks straight now.
No, I've never seen someone say, "Oh my God, I played so much better with the bye week." No, I don't coach better with a bye week. I coach better just with a good defense and a good offense.
Sure, no doubt.
Bye week, yeah. I don't know why we have bye weeks. Sometimes it helps with injuries and all that, give guys opportunity to rest. But we don't want to rest, man. We've been resting all summer, all winter, all spring, man. We ready to get down.
A quick follow-up, and you mentioned the anticipated crowd, the economic boost to the city, but your overall thoughts with regards to Jackson putting on a show again for the SWAC Championship?
I don't know about the show. You can't put on the show unless you win the game. I'm just hopeful and thoughtful that it's no crime, it's no murders, there's none idiotic that takes away from the goodness of this moment. SWAC Championship 2 years straight in Jackson, Mississippi. The economic boost is tremendous, and I love it. Everyone's going to win, so we don't need robbing and stealing and hustling and shooting and all that craziness. So I think we all win, and I think we need to learn how to understand what a true blessing this is. And it's a respect. I know some fans get a little overboard, but I have the utmost respect for this program. I really do. I really have the utmost respect for the coach, the whole program, and what they bring to the table. It's going to be exciting.
No doubt. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Next question goes to Zach McKinnell.
Hope the bye week and the holidays went well for you, Coach. You were named the finalist again for the Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year award, and there's only been one back-to-back winner in the history of the award, Craig Bowl, back in 2012, 2013. How much would it mean to you to be the second back-to-back winner of the Eddie Robinson Award this year?
Well, let me answer this like a coach would. That would be tremendous. It shows how good our staff is. It shows how talented our players are. It shows the program. It shows how forward-thinking our program is, and I'm elated to even be mentioned for such a prestigious award as that. So, getting nominated second year straight, it's a tremendous blessing. But it's no way I could begin to take the credit without the social media team, the trainers, the equipment managers, the staff, everyone included in what all we bring to the table here in Jackson State.
And a quick follow-up about the game this weekend. What was some of the bigger things that you guys wanted to work on throughout this bye week that you guys saw on film from the Alcorn State game that you guys needed to correct going into this rematch with Southern?
Explosiveness offensively. We have explosive players. We just got to figure out a way to get them the ball doing what they do best. We got to run the football effectively. That means dominate the front line, and we have the players to do such a thing. We just got to be consistent in all the things we do. We got to finish. The thing is about the words of the week, we got to finish. We got to finish. We got to finish whatever we started. We got to flat out finish our assignment of the year, and that's to be dominant.
Thank you, Coach, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Next question goes to Kendrick Marshall.
Yeah, Coach. Over the weekend, Pete Thelma with Fox Sports reported that Colorado had made you an offer to become their next head coach. Mm-hmm. How true is that report, and is there any mutual interest between you and the school?
Yeah, definitely. The report is true. They're not the only ones. The report is true. I'm not going to sit on here and tell all my business, but they're not the only ones. And I would be a liar if I told you they didn't. You know they did. I know they did. Everybody there know they did. So it is what it is. That's not my focus right now. My focus is to win and to be dominant, and then to not even to go on to during the Celebration Bowl. My focus is right here in this beloved stadium to be dominant on Saturday. That's my focus. And I keeps the main thing. And everyone that knows me know that about me. I have an innate ability to focus and keep the main thing.
As a follow-up, how do you not let these reports distract you from preparing for each week and preparing your team to play?
Well, to someone else that hadn't been that dude, it gets intoxicating. I've been praying for a long time, dog. Attention ain't nothing new to me. Like, come on. This is. I'm not being braggadocious or whatever. That's a wonderful word, isn't it? Braggadocious. Just came up with that. I think I said that a few weeks ago. But this ain't new to me. Being in the spotlight ain't new to me. I got to just turn that light and channel it to my kids, channel it to my coaching staff, channel it to the support staff. We've been in the spotlight for a long time individually. It's time to bring us collectively, and that's what I've been doing ever since I touched foot on this campus and into HBCU football.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, my man.
Next question goes to James Hill.
Hey, Coach, I hope you and everybody at Jackson State University are well. Shedeur Sanders, in 24 games, 6,314 passing yards, and 62 touchdowns. Talk a little bit about Shedeur, his development, and again, he's carving them up like turkeys, and he's getting better every day.
Well, we've been slacking the second half of the season because a few people have caught up with us, and we got to be a little more innovative, and Brett is doing a good job of that right now in the lab. But Shedeur is progressing. Each week, each game, he's progressing. He called the team up at the end of practice today and got in their butts a little bit about the focus and the understanding of the challenge and what we have at hand. And they're trying to make history, and they're trying to be dominant and making it. He's a football guy. I mean, he's a coach's son. He's a football guy who loves it, lives it, eats it. He likes to stunt. Now, he likes the finer things of life, but he he has to earn those things. But I love what he's putting on display, and the best is yet to come. I truly believe the best is yet to come. We do brunch every Sunday morning, he and my oldest son and my daughter. And one of the things I challenged him to, I talked about all his interceptions. And what is it, 6 of them? Six. Yeah. And each one of them, the defensive back didn't make a great play. All of them was gifts that he put a bow on and just handed it to the opposing team. And I said, think about that. Think about those plays, and I want you to really eliminate those things because those are decision-making flaws. And to think that you're as successful as you are, but 6 decision-making flaws you can eliminate, think about how much better you could possibly be. And those are the conversations we have, because you can't just come at him any kind of way. You got to have an intellectual part to come at him because, he knows this game. And when I'm about to get on him, he'll say, wait till you watch the tape. And then I watch the tape and I see what he saw. Sometimes we can be critical until we start seeing what the quarterback sees. But I'm proud of him.
Coach, the Eddie Robinson Trophy is on display every summer at Media Day in Birmingham. It's also earned by the winning coach. And you won it last year, and you have an extensive trophy case, and we all know that. Talk a little bit about working hard and earning another one this weekend at Jackson State and what that could look like to add another victory as you continue to work hard and guide your team.
Well, the Bible talks about seeking ye first, and then all these things shall be added. We're trying to be dominant. We've been saying that since day one. And when you're dominant, all those things are added. All the accolades for the team, all the accolades for the coaches, all the accolades for the support staff and so forth. All those things are added. So we don't think about those things. We don't set out and say, well, we want to have the best freshman. We want to have the best this. We don't think like that. We've been saying since day one, we want to be dominant. And then all those things are therefore added.
Have a blessed week, sir.
Thank you, my man.
Try to get a few more questions in quickly. Question goes to Jeff Lightsey.
Hey, Coach Prime, I understand, just going back on a question that you were asked earlier, you said you've been Prime for a long time, but your team, your program haven't always been Prime or Deion Sanders. I just want to know, how do you prevent all the rumors that are circulating around your name, prevent it from hurting your team going into this week, or your program and recruiting and things like that?
Our team has been good since we've been here. We've been good. So I disagree with you with that. We've been good since we've been here. We focus, man. Like we're dialed in. We have some really good coaches and guys that have been to the highest level of football, and we know how to focus our kids. We know how to make sure our kids are watching enough film. We know how to make sure our kids understand their alignment and assignments to another level. We know how to run a practice. At this point in practice, it don't involve a lot of contact. We want to keep them fresh and fast. We know the finer things to do because we've done them as a player, and we've been to those mountaintops and Super Bowl runs, and understanding how do you focus with everybody screaming about a Super Bowl, everybody screaming about a darn World Series. I think they got the right coach, don't you? You see how I paused there and let you kind of grasp that thing? I think they got the right coach.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Last question goes to Dr. Cavill.
That my man.
Thank you. Good morning, Coach Brown. How's it going?
Good morning, sir.
You've been very consistent of talking about your team being consistent. Oftentimes we hear individuals talk about the team taking over the mindset of their coach. Going into the championship, you've been in the highest level of championships with the Super Bowl and World Series for that factor. Are there things that you're able to talk to your team or even your coaches? Many of them have been at that high level too, that translates to the college game and a second chance of a conference championship.
Yeah, a lot of things we put on the internet because we're trying to help the majority of people, not in sports, but just in life as well as in sports. Some things we don't, that happens in the meetings. We just had CEO of Under Armour, Kevin Plank, here to speak to our whole team about keeping the main thing. And then he blessed the whole team, the whole staff with new Under Armour shoes that hadn't even really come out yet. So it's easy for us to bring in people to validate and substantiate the message that we're trying to get across with these youngsters. But the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. If we play our game, only we can beat us. That's not having any insult to Southern or their staff, because they have a tremendous staff, tremendous coach. I love those young men and the way they perform. But if we do our thing, it's going to be hard to deal with us. And everyone knows that. If we play our game, it's hard to beat us.
Yes, no doubt. We watched it in terms of the record. And so I continue to analyze and see what that is about. Let's get a little more in terms of the game.
Okay.
People that followed you talk about your athletic ability, but more important, I'm not sure it's been pointed out, how much you really dissect game film.
Yes.
And I'm sure that is translated from a coaching perspective.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk a little bit more in terms particular, how have you worked with coaches to work players in regards to how to break down film correctly, to look at certain that can be a difference of making a play, winning games, and actually obviously winning championships because you do the little thing that you see in a game?
I oftentimes will step inside a film room or a meeting with the coaches and see how they're developing the players and see how they're coaching and what they're getting across. The coaches have received direct structure from me about this week, about making sure they consume a lot of film. On Thursdays, everyone has to turn in time. I'm going to say that again. This may be different from any other coach. On Thursdays, my staff has to turn in film times from each player. So if it's defensive backs, I need to see how much film every defensive back watch, because I want to make sure he's ready, he's prepared. Now, if I have a starter that plays on the defensive line and he's only watched 30 minutes of film, he might sit over on that bench for 30 minutes until that 30 minutes he lasts, then he'll get to get in the game because he's not prepared. So we want to make sure they're prepared for the game intellectually, physically, socially, and just understanding the moment of the game. But when they break the huddle and they get in the formation, our guys are calling it out internally. They know. And when that defensive back is at this, and Shador could go over there and he could look this way and he know when they're going to blitz. So it's just his thing to get us in the right formation, to get us in the right call, to make sure we have the right protection. So one thing that we're going to be is we're going to be prepared. We're not going to be not prepared for this game. That's coaches wise as well as players.
Thank you, Coach Prime. Good
Thank
luck
you
this week. I look forward to the matchup.
I appreciate it.